Hello, RPS students and families, and welcome to News to You. I'm Miss Waite, and I will be reading the news story for today, which is online museum tours. So before we read the article, it's always a good idea to study the title and see if you can figure out what the article might be about. So let's look at each word in the title. Online museum tours. So if you're online, that means you're using the internet. So for example, this video is on the internet. So if you are watching it, you are online. A museum is a place that stores items that can teach you about art, science, or history. So in Richmond, we have a lot of famous and lovely museums. There's the Science Museum, the Museum of Fine Arts, the Black History Museum, the Civil War Museum, just to name a few. See if you can come up with any other museums that either you've heard of or maybe you've even visited. All right, and finally, our last word is tours. So if you go on a tour of a place, that means usually that you get to walk around and look at everything. So this article has to have something to do with all three of those. Online, the internet, a museum, a place to learn, and tours, being able to visit. So take a minute, if you're watching this with family, tell them what you think this video is going to talk about. All right. And one more thing before we read, though, we're going to go and look at the questions that you're going to be able to answer after the video, after the article. So, number 1, what are museums doing? Number 2, what can people watch the tours on? And number 3, what can people pretend to walk through? So I like to read the questions first because it tells me what I should be listening for as I listen to a story. All right, now we're ready to find out what we're going to be learning about today. Ready? Online museum tours. Many museums are doing online tours. People can watch the tours at home. They can watch the tours on their other devices. So devices, if you look at the picture, can include a tablet, a cell phone, a computer. Anything you can get on the internet with or go online on would count as a device that you can watch the tours on. All right, people can pretend to walk through museums. They can pretend to walk through art exhibits too. Think to yourself, how can you pretend to walk through something? Well, I have a surprise for you at the end of this article that'll show you how. But let's finish first. Many schools are closed. Many students are staying home. Students are looking for activities to do at home. Students can use online museum tours to learn. What museum would you want to tour? All right, think about that for a second. What museum would you want to tour? Doesn't have to be one in Richmond either. There's museums all over the world. All right, let's go to our 3 questions. Number 1, what are museums doing? Races, contests, or tours? If you said tours, you are correct. Oh, that's a big check mark. Correct. Museums are doing tours. The article did not mention races or contests. So tours was the best answer. Number 2, what can people watch the tours on? Devices, Mars, or pools? If you said devices, you're correct. I don't think anybody's ever been to Mars, let alone watched anything on Mars. And when I go to the pool, I go there to swim, not to watch a tour. All right, and last question, what can people pretend to walk through? Landfills, museums, or car washes? So just in case you have not heard of a landfill is where you send your garbage. So what can people pretend to walk through? A landfill, where your garbage goes after you take it out, a museum, or a car wash? If you said museum, you are correct. So people can pretend to walk through a museum. I don't think I'd want to go visit a landfill if it's full of garbage. And car washes don't seem that exciting to me either. I would very much like to go to a museum though, and I said we had a surprise at the end of the video, and that is that we are going to go on our own virtual museum tour. So I asked earlier, how can you pretend to go on a tour? Well, we're going to visit a museum right now. This is the website for the American Museum of Natural History in New York. If you want to visit it yourself, go to amnh.org. So to access their virtual tour, you can click Explore and Learn Online. Now they have a lot of things you can explore online, but we want to go on a virtual tour. So I'm going to go down here, visit the museum virtually. So virtually means on a computer or on a device through the internet. So we're going to click Museum View Virtual Tour. And looky there. Now we can see the inside of the museum. So it's like we're there ourselves. So we are pretending we're actually standing in the museum, even though we're just looking at a computer screen. Now, this museum is very big. It's actually 5 floors. So we're not going to have time right now to look at everything, but you're welcome to come back to this website on your own and do some more exploring. But I'm going to show you a few of my favorite things at this museum, which I've never actually been to. First up, check out what they have hanging from the ceiling. Let's see if we can get a better angle. A little hard to tell from here, so I'm going to walk around, see if I can walk around to see it from the side. So this is how you pretend to walk around the museum. You just kind of click around. Oh, there we go. What is this? You may notice down at the end here, a fin or tail and some flippers. So if you said this is some kind of fish, you're pretty close. It's actually a whale. It is a blue whale, not a real one, but a model of a blue whale, which is actually the largest living thing on Earth, believe it or not. Where do whales live? Where do you think a blue whale lives? If you said in water or in the ocean, you're correct. Blue whales live in the ocean. Let's look at something else that lives in the ocean. This is actually two things that live in the ocean. Can you tell what they are? So this here, that's pink and has all of these arms, is a squid, a giant squid. And you can tell it's giant because the animal that this squid is on top of is a whale. I believe this is might be a sperm whale? Not sure. Let me see if I can read the plaque. I think it says sperm whale. So we saw a blue whale earlier. So this is another type of whale. So these also live in the ocean, both the sperm whale and the giant squid. And what is the whale doing to the squid? I don't know about you, but it looks to me it might be eating the squid. All right, let's look at some things that live on land next. What is this? If you said bones, well, you're correct. These are bones. What are they bones of? If you said a dinosaur, that's correct too. So this is a type of dinosaur called a Triceratops. Tri actually means three, and they're called Triceratops because they have three horns. One, let's use my marker. 1, 2, 3. That's why we call it a Triceratops. Now, the reason you're looking at its bones is because Triceratops aren't around anymore. They're dinosaurs, so they are extinct. They are all dead, which might be a good thing, because if they were alive, they would be much bigger than us. And this isn't even the biggest dinosaur at the museum. This dinosaur you may recognize as a T-Rex, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So look at how much taller it is than the last dinosaur. I'm going to see if I can get a better look at the T-Rex's most famous feature. Those big, sharp teeth. This is not a dinosaur you would have wanted to mess with. But even this is not the biggest dinosaur at the museum. Let's see if I can find the biggest one. Had it earlier. Move myself out of the way. Maybe this one. Oh, closer. This is the Titanosaur. It's not much taller than the T-Rex, but look at that neck. Wow. Oh, I see what I'm looking for. This is the biggest dinosaur they have at the museum. This is the Barosaurus and the Allosaurus. I'm not sure which is which, but look at that. That's its neck. The head is way up there. I can't even tell how high up that is. That is cool. And there is so much more you can see in this museum just from looking at these pictures. Are all different parts of the museum you can visit. And you can rotate and look around and zoom in to see things closer. So I would really encourage you to check this out after the video today. Again, you can go to am nh.org to go and explore yourself. Well, that's it for News to You today. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.